Mr. Speaker, I rise to oppose this amendment. Mr. Speaker, because there are many Kenyans who do not understand where we are and what we are dealing with. I am opposing Linturi's amendment to Sakaja's amendment to Kibiru's amendment. Mr. Speaker, we have confused this nation. The Kibiru formula was at some point called the Linturi formula because it is Senator Linturi who introduced the square root, which had an adverse effect on numbers for certain counties. Mr. Speaker, the report, the parent motion that these amendments seek to amend were done by Senator Linturi. Now he has brought a further amendment, bringing a different basis for consideration, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Senator Ledama Olekina, my friend, who has seconded this motion, this amendment, has an amendment on the order paper. He wants to amend the Kibiru report. Now he supports Linturi's amendment of Sakaja's amendment of Kibiru's report. Mr. Speaker, this is not the manner in which you're supposed to do a formula that is supposed to drive this country into the next 5 years. If you ask people how we ended up with 47 county governments in this republic, no one will give you the basis. Because people sat in a smoke-filled room and started haggling and trying to find out how they're going to balance interests. And so we said, let's have 47 counties instead of 9 counties or instead of 30 counties. This is the same method that we are using to determine a formula for allocation of revenue. Mr. Speaker, I oppose this amendment because Homa Bay County is bound to lose 29.14 million. And a conversation where there are winners and there are losers is a conversation, Mr. Speaker, that is not healthy for this country. I want to disagree with those who believe that Senate determines the formula or the basis at the exclusion of the public. Mr. Speaker, there is no decision that we are mandated to make without reference to the public and the people who gave us the opportunity to sit in this House. That is why the first article in our Constitution talks about we the people. How can people go and sit under a tree and come up with a formula? And Mr. Speaker, this is the 10th formula, and this is the 8th meeting. How do you sit under a tree, bring an amendment to this House that will determine how money is shared without subjecting it to a process? Why did we establish the Commission for Revenue Allocation? If Senator Linturi is the expert in these matters, let's abolish the CRA and let's have Senator Linturi running the CRA. Mr. Speaker, this being the 10th formula, I want to assure you that if we continue this way, I will also come up with a formula. They have said one man, 1 shilling. I am going to say 1 fish, 1 shilling. Because this formula, Mr. Speaker, does not take into account the interests of fisher folk. And that is why Mombasa County gets only 40 million on agriculture. That is a Kibiru formula. And yet the people of Mombasa are fishers. Mr. Speaker, Homa Bay has the largest share of Lake Victoria. The fishing community has not been taken into account. Let us sober up. Otherwise, I'll be talking of 1 fish,